Hello and welcome to Bears TV. My name is Ryan Nassau and I am here with Redcar Bears co-promoter, team manager and amateur star, Jade Mudgway. Jade, how are you?
I'm very well, Ryan. Thanks very much.
How did you enjoy the recent amateur meeting? Was it a surprise to you?
Yeah, I didn't really want to do it, if I was honest. My racing days of Speedway are pretty well behind me, but Jamie, who runs our amateur stuff, was pestering me to fill the last place, and I thought, yeah, why not? You know, I'll get the old bike out. I've got an old Godden now, and I'll have a bit of fun on that. So it was good fun.
All good fun. So this evening, me and Jade are going to do a bit of a season preview to preview the eagerly awaited Redcar Bears season that we've all been waiting for. So, Jade, what will each of our riders, especially the new riders, bring to our side?
Well, I think we've built on what we've had already. Obviously, we've got Charles in there. He brings a lot of professionalism to the team, a lot of that will to do well and to win. You know, he's not British champion for no reason. He's got that drive and that passion to do well. We've got Anders Rowe in there that brings a bit of youth to the team, a bit of potential. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of potential in Anders Rowe. He's going well. He's been going well, and I think he'll improve a lot this year. He can learn from people like Charles, like Tofty, and Jake and things as well. Michael Palmertoft, he brings a lot to the side because, you know, you get a slick track or when things are going to get tough, you can throw Tofty in there like he did at the Eastbourne match, and he banged a maximum. And, you know, he's one of those riders. He's just quick, and he's easy to get along with. You know, we've got a good bunch of guys who are easy to get along with. They've all got the same mentality to do well and to win, and that's what we're here for at Redcar Bears. We're not here to participate or come second. We're here to win. We've got Jordan Stewart back as well this year for another stint with us. He's doing really well, improving every year. That's what we want from him, just to improve a bit every year. We don't want someone who's going to be a superstar one year and then have a bad year the next. Geordie's a great solid lad, and he gets in and he improves every year. And you can't ask for any more than that. I love when he gets off the turn 2 and he gets his wheels in line. He rocket ships down the back straight like no one I've seen. So he's got a lot of talent, and he's just plugging away, and that's all he needs to do. I'm really excited for Geordie this year. And obviously the new signing, Jake Allen, he's someone that I wanted to bring to the team this last year for the season that we didn't have. But he wanted to stay at Scunthorpe, so that was fine. But I'm really excited to have Jake in the team. He gels well with all the riders we've got. He's good friends with Charles, and he's good friends with Geordie. They get along really well, so that'll build our team spirit as well. Along with, that's how the Aussies do it. You know, that they've got a good team spirit. They take their racing seriously, but they don't take certain things too seriously, so they can have a bit of fun, and we can build team spirit on that. Obviously, James Sargent, I've known for a little while yet, even though when he was in New Zealand, I actually wasn't there. I'd stayed over here that year, but obviously being a New Zealand champion, I got to know him when he came back here, and he's been around, but he's got a lot of potential as well. I think he's on a bit of a false average. I think his average can be a lot better than what it is, and he's capable of a lot more, and he's got good equipment. He's dead fit, and he's a young British lad, so why wouldn't you have him in the team? The same with Jordan Jenkins. Obviously, he's new to the championship, and bags of potential, full of professionalism, a nice young lad. Just got it all going for him.
Seems like we have a lot of riders who, like Anders and like Jordan and even James, who've got potential to add to their average, and Jordan as well. So we could end up with a team by the end of the season averaging in the early 40s, really. Yeah,
I mean, it's a numbers game, isn't it? If you can get riders who are all going to put a half a point on their average, you're going to have a very strong team if you build to the limit. These riders we've got have the potential to improve on their average, and they're good lads and easy to work with, and will build good team spirit. So if you can everybody can improve your team, so it's better than you started with, and you can have a good team spirit, you're on to a winner.
That does bring me on nicely to my next question. In your role as team manager, how important in the early days is it for you to build the team spirit, and how much of a role do you play in gelling the team together early doors?
I think with bringing riders through from the previous season that we had definitely helps, because they know the ethos that we're trying to live to. We're here to win, so that you've got to install that in them right from the get-go. Every single one of these riders wants to win and wants to win races, but we have to work as a team if we're going to win a league or win a knockout cup or anything like that. So it's just getting that across, and the mentality of us as a club right from the get-go. Other than that, they know what they're doing. They know how to ride speedway bikes. I don't need to tell them how to do this or how to do that. Every one of these riders is professional. We just need to all be working off the same hymn sheet.
Maybe you'll have to threaten them with you coming in as a guest spot if they don't perform very well.
Yeah, no, nobody wants to see that.
So, were you surprised with your form in that recent amateur meeting?
Yeah, I was really. Let's be honest. It's been. I think I rode a speedway bike once last year and probably once the year before, and it's been 5 or 6 years since I really had a race. But it was just good fun. I like to pull old machinery out of the barn, really. Although this is a pretty tidy piece of machinery that I've built myself. I like to build old stuff and bring it and race it against some of the younger lads and show them that until you can ride what you've got till its full potential, you don't really need to be spending $8,000 on a big flash engine and to do this and do that. You know, Kev Doolan was somebody who taught me that. And until you've got what you've got and riding it to its absolute maximum, there's no point in changing jets here or putting posh valve springs in here or changing the cam timing. Let's just make you go absolutely as fast as you can go, and then let's make it go a bit faster so you can make it go a bit faster. There's no point in making something faster than your ability.
Good words of advice for younger riders there. Hopefully some of our clubs are listening to this. So, apart from point scoring, what do you look for when you sign a rider?
Again, it's that potential to improve, and how well they're going to fit into the team, how well they're going to get along with me as a team manager and my two promoters. But I don't particularly build the team. That's something the three of us do together. It's definitely a team exercise, I'd say. We all have to agree on what's going to happen here or there. But yeah, it's definitely for that improvement and for that how we're going to gel as a team. It all has to work.
Obviously, after Jake Allen was signed, a lot of people are tipping Redcar for great things this year. Hopefully we'll make the playoffs. But what other clubs do you see as challenges to the Bears this year?
Yeah, that's what we're going for, the playoffs. You know, we're here to do well. The other teams I sort of have a bit of an eye on. I don't pay much attention to anything else. I very much focus myself on Redcar and let other people worry about what's going to happen. I focus on the team that's going to turn up or the team that we're going to face that week. I think that's the best way to do it because you can't change anything else. But I've had a bit of a look at the other teams, and I think Leicester are definitely a decent team again this year. I think Edinburgh, if they can get a couple of theirs going like the potential that they've got, I think they're a good team. Eastbourne look good as well, especially at their track. They'll have a bit of a home track advantage as well. But yeah, I think them. We're definitely aiming for being the playoffs and aiming to win a league title. That's what we're here for. But I wouldn't say that's where we're nailed on for anything like that. It's a long way to go in the season. Anything can happen from here to there. We can have dips and forms and injury, as you well know.
As a team manager, do you plan before a meeting when and if you're going to make ride replacement rides and reserve replacement changes, or is it all what's happening on the night?
RR can be a bit different. I often have a lot of that planned out to give riders a bit more time. If I'm ever going to make a change or a tack sub, that normally only happens the race before. To see, you've got to know who's making a gate or if anybody's off form or things that wouldn't be fair on me to start thinking, oh, that he's not going to go well there or he's not going to go well here. They've all got to get stuck in and do their jobs, and they all try hard. And it's all I ask of them, to give everything they've got, and they won't get pulled out of the rides. That if they're putting the effort in, and we can see they're putting the effort in, then I have absolutely no problem with them. If they come away with not as many points as they should have, but they're absolutely trying hard, then fair play to them.
Will you, if a rider's had a bad night, like obviously many riders do at times, it happens to all of us, will you pull them to one side and just give them a few words of encouragement as the manager?
It all depends on the rider and the problems they've had. A lot of riders, they just need to forget it and get on with it. If they're doing something fundamentally wrong, then you have to tell them. But no rider wants to do bad, so a lot of riders, they just need to turn around the new book. They know what they need to do. I mean, I've been there. We've all had bad nights, and we all work twice as hard to get them back to good nights if we've had a bad one.
Right. Edinburgh, as you mentioned, that is our first block of fixtures. We're going to Edinburgh away and then at home. Is the Edinburgh Monarchs a good team to start off against, or would you prefer something else?
No, to be honest, we'll face anybody. We've all got to face them. We've got a good team of racers. I see no reason why we can't go there and try and get points or even a win. Why not? We don't go to any match to try not to win. So we'll just take anyone on that we need to at the time. It doesn't really fuss me who it is.
This is going to sound, to some teams who may not get silverware this year, quite rude. But do you feel, as a promotion, that if we only got the one trophy, let's just say the Knockout Cup this year again, would that be a disappointment to you?
That is a tough one, because we are aiming for silverware. If we only got one, depending on which one it was, we'd be disappointed. Well, no, we'd be happy if we got one, but that depended on which one it was. But we're here to win. We're here to do well. If we put on good racing at Redcar, our biggest asset is the track. I think we'll be happy at the end of the season.
What do you think of the new Rising Star system that's been implemented by British Speedway this year?
I think it's great. We have to do something to help British riders come along. That no matter what you do, you get criticism. There's always criticism from somebody about something. Nothing can ever be absolutely perfect for everybody. But I think this is exactly what British Speedway needs. It can even go a bit further, and I'm not British. And I think we should be giving the British lads a little bit more help and a little bit more encouragement. That's why it's British Speedway. We should be building on that. I think this year, with a lot of riders having to base themselves only here and ride only in British leagues, it's helping the country massively, I think, because it's really pulling all the riders back into the sport and pulling them up the sport. And hopefully we can start to separate the two leagues, so we only have the top riders from the championship riding in the Premiership, but that's a few years away yet, and we need to build on what we've got. And I think this Rising Star program will do that.
Obviously, I know James Sargent isn't classed as a Rising Star, but was one of the reasons for the Redcar Bears signing him that you can't let a British talent like that just sit on the sidelines?
Yeah, it was definitely a part of the thoughts we had. He's an absolutely class rider, isn't he? I mean, I saw him, he came to do a few practice laps at Redcar at one of the training days. And I was standing on the new back straight where we're going to have some viewing. And I wish I could blow the cobwebs out like he did. He was absolutely flying. He looks a class act, and he always has. I think coming to a track like Redcar that's pristine, that's a great races track, where he's going to get support from the fans, he'll do really well. And I say he's on a false average. He can do better than that.
Do you believe, obviously we all go into every home meeting hoping we'll win every meeting, but do you believe it's realistic for the Bears to go unbeaten at home all season? Absolutely.
I wouldn't put a team out that I thought would be beaten. Even away from home, we're capable of winning any match away from home. We just have to have maybe a little bit of rub of the green, but we've definitely got that determination and the will to win inside the team. So it'd be great.
Final question, Jade. When we have to book a guest rider, how much of the decision is up to you as the team manager, or is it an all a three-man decision between you, Jade, and just you, Jamie, and Chandra?
I think it's definitely between the three of us. Possibly I would have the casting vote, but then there's three of us. So if they decided that that wasn't the way to go, then that's fine. You know, we're a team. We do things together. We make decisions together, and I would go with them as much as they would go with me. So I think we pretty much think along the same lines, to be honest. We're all of the same mind. We all want to do well for the club. There's not much we end up disagreeing on.
Thank you very much for your time, Jade. Have you got any message for the Bears fans who will surely be watching this interview?
Just look forward to a great year. We're putting all the effort in. Ben's doing loads of work on the COVID restrictions, so he's been flat out doing that. James has been flat out doing the junior stuff to bring our juniors on, and we're going to have a great year. Let's just get there, support the lads, and show them the appreciation for putting all on the line for us.
Thank you very much for your time, and thank you for tuning in to Bears TV.